What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours, where we do have a lot of topics to discuss. Firstly, in regards to signings, it is quite clear by Barcelona that the main target for this upcoming summer in 2025 will be not only a left winger, but also strengthening the fullback position. We have updates on both positions where we're being linked with. Of course, in the left wing, a lot of rumors about Nico Williams, and now Khvicha Kvaratskhelia name has re-emerged as an option. Of course, in the following summer in 2026, the club will be targeting a striker, with Erling Haaland, of course, being the main priority. But they could maybe bring in a striker this summer to provide coverage and competition for Lewandowski. Right now, Jonathan David, a free agent, being the main objective, while Viktor Gyökeres is very appreciated by Barcelona as well. We have some updates around Jonathan Tah and Kimmich being linked with Barcelona, and of course, Barcelona eyeing maybe potentially signing another goalkeeper this summer. Not a starting goalkeeper, a goalkeeper to come in to be the second or third choice option. We have a lot of renewal updates as well on Szczesny, Ter Stegen's future, Lewandowski, Frenkie, Araujo, but the two biggest news is around Pedri and Gavi, who are both now very close to renewing their contract and could do so before the end of the year. Also has some big injury updates as well. New big blow around Christensen, Frenkie de Jong coming back early from the Dutch national team. Will Lamine Yamal be fit or not for Celta Vigo? Ansu Fati, the surgeon who operated on him, came out saying that he's fully healthy, but he knows why Ansu Fati is still having issues in regards to picking up these niggling injuries. We discussed that, and finally some big news as well in regards to returning to the Camp Nou. It is pretty much confirmed by Barcelona when we will do so this season. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. It would be very much appreciated. Also, if you are new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 48 hours. Firstly, we do have some more confirmation of what Barcelona's targets will be ahead of the next two transfer windows in January and, of course, in the summer. David Bernabeu of Sport has come out saying the club's plan is to sign 2 fullbacks and a left winger in the next transfer windows. Again, I totally agree with these being the priorities for the upcoming summer transfer windows. Again, looks like summer 2025, left wing will be the key signing. 2026, it'll be a striker. 2027, it will be a goalkeeper. And bringing in fullbacks as well is very important. It's one of the weaker sides, I would say, in terms of depth, coverage, and competition in the Barcelona squad. We're seeing, Marcus Alba being put there at some point, so that's why we kind of lack a little bit of that, quality, I would say. Of course, you have Hector Fort, who's a fantastic talent, but still needs to grow. At left back, you have one of the worst players I've seen in my life in Gerard Martin, so it's quite clear these areas are key areas to strengthen for Barcelona. We actually have some updates in regards to players being linked in these areas, so let's now discuss that. Now, in regards to the left winger, David Bernabeu of Sport has come out saying that 2 favorites for the left wing position right now are Nico Williams and Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. Now, he goes on to mention in this report that Barcelona, the issue they have right now is that Nico Williams currently earns 10 million euros net salary at Athletic Club, which is around about $250,000 a week, 250,000 euros per week. That, on top of the transfer fee, which would be around 60 million euros, will cost Barcelona a lot. Where with Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, you're going to probably pay a bit more of a transfer fee, 80, 90, somewhere like that, but his wages will be much lower. I believe he earns right now around 3 or 4 million net at Napoli. You get maybe 5 or 6. That's almost 3 million, 4 million less than what Nico Williams will expect. I don't think Nico Williams will take a salary reduction, so to speak, to come to Barcelona. He probably wants to earn around the same, if not more. So that's why the club are kind of, shoring up other options. For me, what's clear is that the club see Nico Williams still as a priority. We always hear Nico Williams or Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, Nico Williams or Rafael Leão, Nico Williams or Mo Salah. It's always Nico Williams plus someone else. So I feel like the club still have him very high in regards to the left wing position, mainly because they've already worked with him, they've already tried to sign him. He has quality. The price in terms of transfer fee is decent. And he's Spanish as well. He knows all the lads, him and Lamine Yamal, Olmo, Pedri, Casado are dancing in Spanish training. So for harmony and vibes and adaptation, it will be very easy for Nico Williams. I do think he's having a underperforming season so far, but we're not even halfway there yet, so we'll see how things do turn out. But it's quite clear that I would say right now the top 3 left wingers are Nico Williams number 1, Rafael Leão number 2, and then Khvicha Kvaratskhelia as kind of, a third option. I think the top 2 are quite clear, and the third one is kind of just a bunch of, not want to say random names, but quality names that can be useful for Barcelona. Now, in regards to the fullback options, we haven't really been linked with anyone, really. We heard some rumors about Mengueta, of course, a few months ago. Davies' name keeps coming as he's a free agent. But a new name has emerged, and it is Hugo Bueno. This is coming in from David Rebello of Sport. He's come out saying that Barcelona are very tentative to left back Hugo Bueno, who plays on loan at Feyenoord from Wolves. He has Jorge Mendes as his agent, which, of course, would facilitate this kind of move. Now, when we talked about earlier in the beginning of the video, strengthening the fullback position, this for me is not strengthening it. This is just another name with prospect and potential that can perfectly come up. It's like a Luka Dean, Juan Miranda, a Junior Firpo. We've been there and done it. I want to see someone, if we do sign someone, of quality. If we're going to sign someone with, potential, rather trust the B team. You have David Ododo coming through. You have Hector Ford, who's a fantastic talent as well. Rather give them a go than go out of my way and sign another talent. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. So a name like Hugo Bueno does not wow me whatsoever. Is he a good player? I don't know. Don't really care. He sunk it up at Wolves over the past few seasons in the Premier League, but now at Feyenoord, he's doing alright. So I'm not too keen on this. And yet again, another Spanish player. Wow. It's just typical. I feel like this is just, random links. I wouldn't look into this too much. We, of course, had the Marc Pubil links in the summer as well. For me, those ones are pointless. You want to go out, sign a Davies, okay. Apart from that, it makes no sense. I'd rather just trust in the B team. If you want to look at Mengueta as an option, sure, since you own 50% of his rights, that could be, a really cheap deal. I can let that one slide, but we need talent and quality in the fullback position for years and years now. We've always had the two starters, and the depth has been absolutely shite. It's time now to change that narrative. Now, despite the fact that signing a striker this upcoming summer 2025 is not a priority, the club are still keeping an eye on the market, and they're planning on making their move for a striker, of course, in the next year or two. Now, David Rebello of Sport came out saying the club is considering signing Viktor Gyökeres from Sporting, a player who has dazzled in Europe. However, this signing is complicated because when you have Lewandowski, it's difficult to have two great strikers coexist in the same team, and because it means leaving one on the bench. Along these lines as well, another alternative is Jonathan David, who will leave for free at the end of the season, who recently declared his love for Barcelona, and that love came in an interview with The Athletic. He came out saying that Barcelona was always a team I grew up supporting. When you grow up supporting a team, it's your dream to play for them. That's a bit of him, making that move firstly in the media, saying, yo, Barcelona, yo, Pierre, you want to come out here kind of vibe. Now, following these quotes, Fabrizio Romano came out saying that despite Jonathan David showing appreciation for the club, Barcelona is currently not working on signing a striker at this time. The club will decide what they want to do in 2025, as Robert Lewandowski's contract is expected to be extended for at least another season. Again, Lewandowski's contract right now expires in 2026, but has the option to extend until 2027. Now, the next day, Fernando Polo and Gabriel Sanz of Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona had been gathering information on Jonathan David, and the scouts have been watching him live for some time now. He is out of contract in 2025, and his preference is to play for Barcelona is very known. But at the moment, Barcelona are not sure whether he's a top-level player who would fit into their style of play. In addition, every player who's out of contract will ask for a sign-on bonus, which makes the arrival not as cheap as it is portrayed. However, Barcelona are looking for a striker, though, as having only Pau Victor as an alternative to Lewandowski is not enough. This is why they're monitoring David, but they will go step by step and gather more information. So basically, he's saying here, the interest is genuine, but not fully decided whether or not we pursue him or not. For me personally, I think Jonathan David is a great player. I don't think he's a starting striker level for Barcelona. I think he's definitely a great enough option to be an alternative, especially being a free agent. You ask me, you bin Pau Victor, you bring Jonathan David, you probably sell Pau Victor, I would say, for 5 million euros, maybe even more with that Barca PR. You're bringing David for free. That is an absolutely massive upgrade. I think David can be that kind of, Paco Alcácer for Barcelona, a reliable player off the bench. Of course, if that's what David wants. If he wants to come in and be a starter, I say, you know what, just pack your bags and go somewhere else. But if he's happy to be a number 2, if Lewandowski gets injured, he might have a good run of form. Maybe we have a 2-striker formation, whatever the case may be. If he's happy with that, I wouldn't mind moving whatsoever. Also, a bit of agenda for me because I do want to see a Canadian player play for Barcelona. I don't think I'll ever see that in my life. This is probably the best time I will see it. So we'll wait and see. But what's clear is that Barcelona are not going to spend money on a striker this summer to replace or provide strong competition for Lewandowski. So no Erling Haaland, no Viktor Gyökeres. And speaking, by the way, on Erling Haaland, David Bernabeu also came out saying that even if Erling Haaland extends his contract in the next year or so, it's still unlikely that Barcelona will return for him in 2026. So even if he renews his contract with Man City, we know for a fact there will be some kind of release clause. Of course, if he does not renew his contract with Man City, it'll make the move much easier. If he does, might complicate things, but Barcelona will still be showing strong interest for him in 2026. And that's what the club are not going to go for Viktor Gyökeres. Again, could be potentially a one-season wonder for 70 million euros. Lewandowski right now is showing that he is on form, but again, I feel like Jonathan David would be a great signing because Lewandowski cannot play week in, week out. I feel like next season, give him that little bit of rest. David can definitely come in and do a job here or there, cup games, rotational player. If Lewandowski gets injured, I think this would be a great signing. But if we don't sign him, I wouldn't, it was not the end of the world, so to speak. And again, the club are still really analyzing if he's at the level of Barcelona that they do want to sign for and, of course, pursue. Free agent, he'll probably want to ask for around 100, 150k per week. Plus, the sign-on bonus is probably $1 million or $2 million there. So for Barcelona to really, go for him, they have to really identify him as a target. So we'll wait and see. The club definitely do pursue him. This will probably be one of the easiest deals we've ever done. I think it'll be a smooth walk in the park. But Barcelona is still undecided on David. And in regards to other strikers like Viktor Gyökeres and Erling Haaland, that will be, of course, postponed until 2025 with the priority of keeping Lewandowski for now. Now, a player that I never thought we'd be linked with again, but here we are. It is Wojciech Kimmich. Very, 360 from what Barcelona are targeting. Fullback, left winger, striker, goalkeeper, a random midfielder has popped in. Now, according to Pedri Gavi from Sky Germany, he's come out saying that Wojciech Kimmich's future at Bayern Munich remains uncertain as discussions continue. Kimmich has criticized a lack of appreciation from the club until last summer, while Max Eberl is seeking to lower the squad salary structure. A reduction in Kimmich's 20 million euro annual salary seems unlikely. If no deal is reached, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and some Premier League clubs are keeping a close eye on his situation. Yeah, no. I've said this a lot over the past few months. I'll say it again. There should be no incentive whatsoever for Barcelona this summer to sign a midfielder. Unless you sell someone, you sell Frenkie if he doesn't want to do for 50 million and you're bringing Kimmich for free. Sure, I might let that slide, but we have such an overbooking in the midfield, it's criminal. Dani Olmo, Fermin Lopez, Marc Casado, Pablo Torre, Frenkie de Jong, Pedri, Gavi. Am I forgetting someone? Probably. I mean, there's 7 or 8 right off the... Actually, I have a picture here of the squad. Let me actually pull up the actual thing. So, yeah, Fermin Lopez, Pablo Torre, Dani Olmo, Gavi, Pedri, Casado, Frenkie. Those are the 7 I already named. So, I mean, you already have 7 midfielders for 3 midfielder positions on the pitch. So, it's no need whatsoever, especially with his wages he's going to be asking for. I'd much rather give those wages to Jonathan David, if I'm being honest. So, and of course, the main problem here, Marc Casado is better than Wojciech Kimmich, so we don't need him. So unless there's going to be some huge overhaul in the midfield, which I highly doubt, because I think the midfield is perfect, it's well structured, it's well balanced as well. I don't see Kimmich coming to Barcelona. We already have our own version of Kimmich, who's better anyways in Casado. But a German player who does have very good chances of playing for Barcelona in the future, it is Jonathan Tah. Now, Roger Toledo Mundo Deportivo came out saying that alongside Barcelona, several teams including Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and Premier League teams are interested in signing Jonathan Tah. The only certainty right now is that he will not renew his contract with Leverkusen, despite the German club strongly interested in keeping him. The player is not yet decided on his future and will wait until January, when he'll be a free agent to negotiate with any club, of course, legally. By January or February at the latest, he's expected to choose his next destination. Barcelona might need to improve their financial offer due to the competition from other clubs. Look, 28, 29-year-old center back, he's alright. He's going to probably come in to replace the possibly outgoing Christensen. I would not bend over backwards for Jonathan Tah. Again, we have good center backs coming through in the academy as well. You have already good options in the team as well with Eric, Inigo, Christensen, Araujo, Koundé, Pau Cubarsí. I would offer him, a fair deal, especially if we are planning to let go of Christensen. If he does not accept it, he has better offers. I'll let him walk. Again, he's not a player that, like with David, I would bend over backwards for. Good option. If we need him, I would take him, but I wouldn't, go out there and go for bidding wars for Jonathan Tah. I don't think he's at that kind of level that we do need. He's going to come in as a backup option, so no real point in that. But I do think right now the race is between Barcelona and Bayern Munich. I think these are the two teams that are showing the most interest in Jonathan Tah, and we'll wait and see. He could be a free agent signing around January, February time. We have, of course, done that in the past. Last season we signed, I think, Inigo in February. The season before that we signed, I think, Christensen and Franck Kessié in February and March time. So Barcelona do have a very good track record of this. We do like to exploit the free agent market, and Jonathan Tah is definitely an option that's right on the top of our list. Now, I did mention how Barcelona are not going to be really tracking a top-level signing in the goalkeeper position until probably 2026 or 2027, but Barcelona is still keeping an eye on the market for reserve option goalkeepers. Now, Sport have come out saying that Barcelona are interested in a low-cost substitute goalkeeper like Marcin Bulka ahead of next season. So with Szczesny's future being uncertain, the club do want to have 3 strong goalkeepers going into next season. Of course, Bulka is a starting goalkeeper for Nice. Very, very good. I remember he had a trial at Barcelona in the treble season, the 2014-15 season. I don't think we ended up signing him in the end, and I think he of course went on to PSG. Then the PSG sold him to Nice. So he's a good goalkeeper. He's one of the top goalkeepers in Ligue 1 as well. Would be a very good option as well. Don't know how much he'd cost. I'm guessing around 10 million euros. I don't know if he'll be a free agent as well. But the most important thing to note here is that Barcelona do want to have good competition once Ter Stegen does return between the sticks. They want to have, a well-suitable name as a reserve option goalkeeper. What does this mean for Inaki Peña? I'm not quite too sure. We could maybe cash out on Inaki this summer, maybe keep him, and then the new signing goalkeeper will be the kind of third option. Don't know what the plan is. All I know for sure is that we're going to sign a top goalkeeper probably around 2027, but the club are still interested in signing reserve options if needed this summer. But over the past 24 hours, Barcelona have signed 2 more top talents from Africa, and one of them is a player that we've been looking for now for probably, I would say, just about a year's time. The 2 players are Ibrahim Diarra and Arouna Traore. These are coming in from the academy from the African Foot from Mali, and they will join the Barcelona academy, most likely the juvenile sides and Barca Athletic as well. Of course, we do have a deal with the African Foot company in Mali where they send us our top talents in exchange for, advertising and stuff like that. We, of course, done that already with David Odoru and Abdelaziz in the summer, and now Diarra and Traore are coming in. I believe in the official statement of the African Foot Academy, they said they're coming in on trial, but then now Barcelona are saying that we actually signed them, so I'm not quite too sure, but I am excited for Ibrahim Diarra. We have been tracking him now for about a year, since the under-17 World Cup, I believe last November. He got the second top goal scorer, first top assist, dragged Senegal to I think the top 3, top 4 finish. He then came to Barcelona to watch some games at the Montjuic in February time. I believe he had a little bit of a trial with Barca as well. Now we finally signed him alongside another one in Arouna Traore. So 2 talents to look out for in the next few weeks. Of course, they're gonna have to get settled into Barcelona, get their visas. We probably won't see them play until probably the new year, but 2 other acquisitions for the sub-30 teams for Barcelona to of course improve and make us even stronger. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 48 hours. The only update we do have is on Vitor Roque, who's yet again interview FC, just talking to the media left, right, and center, and most importantly, talking crap about his parent club, the club that gave him a platform in Barcelona. He came out talking about his, future, saying that the truth is that I had some bad moments when I arrived to Barcelona. I found out I was going to come to Spain about a week before I went. I didn't have time to adapt, but they served as a learning experience. It served as a learning experience, and I'm very happy to have been at Barcelona. A couple things here. Yet again, slamming us. Oh, I had bad moments. What a biatch. Oh my god. I'm sick. I see so many people on X defend him as well. Oh, look at him for playing for Betis. To be honest, unless Vitor Roque gets 30 goals and wins the Pichichi, I don't want to see him play for Barcelona again. The amount of times that he slammed us in the media. Oh, I came too early. I couldn't adapt. I had bad moments. Quit your moaning and go play. At the end of the day, we still own you. I mean, the rights of the player, not physically. And he's out here talking smack week in, week out. Deco had some nice words for him. Look, he came in at a bad moment. We wish him all the best at Betis. He's scoring goals. We're very happy for him. And he's coming out left, right, and center, slamming us like no tomorrow. Mate, if it wasn't for us, he'd still be, pissing about in Brazil. Put some respect on our name. I see people saying, oh, look at Roque scoring goals against Celta Vigo, blah, blah, blah. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. Betis have a buy option. We have a buyback option that's double the amounts, unless he's absolutely surely balling. We're not going to sign him. If we do sign him, probably going to end up selling him for more profit. He is done at Barcelona. So all you guys tracking him and stuff like that, it's a waste of time. I even see people defending him, saying that, oh, the club treated him poorly, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, the club gave him a platform. They brought him to Europe. They nurtured him. Yes, he came a week. You should be excited if you're coming to Barcelona on a week's notice. Get excited. You're about to train with Football Club Barcelona for crying out loud. You're not going to fucking Las Palmas or anything. I mean, they're Las Palmas catching strays out of nowhere, but I don't get this. I see a lot of people defend him as well. Look, I wish him the best. I think he's a fantastic talent. I thought he was going to come in and even bench Lewandowski. Whether that's how poor Lewandowski was or that's how excited I was for Vitor Roque. And the day, didn't really adapt well. And Xavi was right. Xavi wanted him to come in early. He did. Didn't adapt. Didn't look great. Xavi had to loan him. The club said, nah, we don't want to. Sacked Xavi. And they loaned him 2 months later. I mean, the situation could not be more and more clear. And we'll wait and see what happens in the future. Again, Barcelona do have some rights and, buyback options, but Betis do hold a lot of the control. So can't wait for Inigo and Kuborsa to, absolutely, lock him down in a couple weeks as well. But this is really starting to piss me off at this point. He really needs to watch his attitude to a club that, of course, gave him the platform that still own his rights at the end of the day. We'll wait and see how his future does entail. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, we talked about this in the last video, another renewal update on Szczesny. Now, Sport have come out saying that Szczesny plans on retiring for good at the end of the season, but Barcelona could offer him a contract extension. They want to have two backup goalkeepers competing with each other. If Szczesny does not accept Barcelona's renewal offer, the club will try and sign another low-cost goalkeeper that we talked about with Bulka, but they want to have 3 first-team players in this position. Very, very interesting approach, and the reason why for this again is that the club are going to be backing Ter Stegen. Sport also came out saying that Barcelona do not plan on signing a starting goalkeeper next summer. Ter Stegen will return and regain his place in the starting lineup. So with Ter Stegen coming back, he's going to be popping in, cartilage and moving stuff around to come back early with his knee surgery and knee injury. The club are going to wait until probably around 2027 when his contract is going to be, I think, 1 year left in his deal or expiring to sign a new top-level goalkeeper, whether it's going to be Diego Costa or whatever the case may be. Of course, Deco talked about this as well in the interview that I covered, saying that local goalkeeper right now is nowhere near our radar, but a reserve goalkeeper is still on the table. Wait and see if Szczesny is interested. I think him being a third-choice goalkeeper is pretty cool. I think his wages should be lowered a little bit. But we'll wait and see. I think Inaki Pendy's future will have a great entail in this as well. He needs a renewal, convincing him to renew. If he does not renew, you want to, of course, sell him to, get some value before he leaves for free. So all these things will point in the direction of whether or not Szczesny accepts the offer or not, or if Barcelona go into the market and sign a goalkeeper as well. So wait and see how things do turn out. We'll have to actually wait for Szczesny's debut as well, see how he actually plays, if he's actually still at the level or not. That'll have, of course, more entail as well. But again, looking like Barcelona are going to be keeping their eyes on reserve goalkeeper options, second and third choice, ahead of Ter Stegen being the starting goalkeeper for the foreseeable future. The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Frenkie de Jong and Ronald Araujo, with David Bernabeu Sport coming out saying the board still wants to extend the contracts of both Frenkie de Jong and Araujo, despite no response, despite no real interest in them to pursue negotiations and commit to Barcelona. The club are still interested in renewing their deals. Again, this is going to be about time. We'll wait and see how the club do move on these deals as well. We're hearing there's a lot more positive side on Araujo. Still really nothing from Frenkie. So I think again, form, how we play, how the team performs, and what we win will have big indications as well. But it's very clear they need to renew before the summer. That's the bare minimum. If they don't, they'll have to be put on the market, and we'll see how things do turn out. But again, the club's still showing very clear indication and interest in renewing both the Uruguayan and the Dutchman. The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Robert Lewandowski, which of course we hinted about early on in the video. Again, David Bernabeu coming out saying that Lewandowski wants to stay with Barcelona until 2027. Bloody hells. Of course, right now his deal is until 2026. He has the option in his deal to extend until 2027, which the club are interested in, and of course the player is as well. And Lewandowski thinks he has 2 more years, apart from this season, at the top level. I don't know, bro. I don't know if your body is a mechanic or a robot, but I think a new striker should be coming in 2026. Unless Lewandowski, of course, before the summer of 2026, you have the whole entire season of the 25-26 season. So if he really performs then sure. But I think that kind of performance that season will have strong indication of what Barcelona will do in the summer of 2026. And then the club's plan right now is to sign a striker in 2026. This is why you got to bring in David. I think David's a great signing. He'll have some coverage and competition. If Lewandowski does drop off out of nowhere, you can rely on David a little bit to, rest Lewandowski. He's getting a bit older, so injuries are going to be more frequent. So this is why if Lewandowski really has this mindset, signing David would be good. But we'll wait and see with Lou. I think it comes to, season by season basis. I think right now he can definitely, perform next season, but next season we'll have a lot of indication when Barcelona will go for another striker. But Lewandowski thinks he can play at the top level until 2027, and he wants to stay at Barcelona for another 2.5 years. And the final contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of both Pedri and Gavi, and we've gotten some fantastic news coming in from Fabrizio Romano, who's come out saying that talks regarding a new deal for Pedri and Gavi are at the very advanced stages and are expected to be finalized soon. If we can renew both these players by the end of the year, that would be stunning. Then you can focus, of course, on De Jong and Araujo, January, February, March time. That would be sensational to get these 2 deals done by the end of the year, or at least reach some sort of a preliminary agreement. But again, this is always expected. I was never worried about these 2 players whatsoever. We have also more quotes coming in from Pedri on his renewal, saying that, look, my agent are taking care of it on a new contract talks with Barcelona. I think it's going well. It's all proceeding as expected. So again, confidence there. We've been trying to renew Gavi for about a year, since he of course did his ACL last year. So hopefully these 2 players can have at least reach an agreement before the end of the year, maybe sign it in January, February time, and then Barcelona can focus on, De Jong, Araujo, maybe even Iñaki Peña in the second half of the season. But of course, you have to pace yourself very well, and let's see how Deco does handle these renewals, hopefully before the end of the year. But fantastic news that both these 2 players are very close to renewing their contracts with Barcelona, most likely until 2030. Let's now discuss some of the injury updates around the first team at Barcelona. We have a lot of injury updates to discuss, with right now on paper about 9 or 10 players injured. Firstly, on Christensen, this news absolutely rattled me. Catalonia Radio came out saying that Christensen has undergone yet another surgery on his tendon in both of his feet, and he's now expected to be out for another 2 months until at least the end of January. I saw this, I'm thinking, what in the fuck? Especially after the reports that Barcelona are looking to sell him. He's now gone and done another surgery that will keep him out even longer. We won't even see Christensen until February at this point. But then we got some more calming and more positive news from Marcin Bulka from Mundo Deportivo. He came out saying that Barcelona are downplaying the importance of Andreas Christensen's surgery and consider it as part of the treatment. They expect him to return to training on the pitch in the next 15 to 20 days and gradually increase the intensity. Last season, he only played 42 games, but only completed 11 of those 42 games. That is why in the summer he decided to put an end to all this, and Hansi Flick told him to do it as well to overcome his tendon problems. After this surgery, everything indicates that he will achieve this. So the surgery is as planned. Apparently it was just to remove stitches and seal it up again, but again, he should be back in the next 15 to 20 days training on the pitch. So the timeline of Christensen being 100% healthy, fully fit, ready to go for the beginning of January is still on track. Hopefully, we will see Christensen train with Barcelona before the Christmas break. Of course, we have, near the time he should be coming back, we'll have Dortmund, Leganes, Atletico Madrid. Hopefully, he's training around that place. And then again, during the break, he can get back to full fitness and then be ready for us in January. Again, Super Cup, Copa del Rey, La Liga, Champions League as well. So we would need him, especially for squad depth. So he's still on track. This report was a bit blown out of proportion. So hopefully, again, he's still on track to be fully fit for the new year. Thank God. Next injury update is on Lamine Yamal. Again, Catalonia Radio came out saying that Lamine Yamal has very slim chances of returning against Celta Vigo. He's not completely ruled out yet though, but Barcelona, of course, don't want to take any risk. And Javi Miguel did confirm this, saying that unlike Eric Garcia and Robert Lewandowski, who will be fit for the Celta Vigo game, Lamine Yamal will not be ready against Celta Vigo on Saturday. That is a huge blow for, I think, Barcelona's toughest game in this next 8-game run before Christmas break. Not having one of your, if not your best player. It is a big blow, but of course I do agree with this. We want him to come back fully fit, ready to go, no risk taken. We want to take absolutely full precaution with Lamine Yamal, but most likely he will not be fit for Celta Vigo. Might get the green light, might travel, but probably will not play in the game, while as Eric Garcia and Robert Lewandowski should be ready to go for Celta, along with hopefully as well Frenkie de Jong. Now, if you did not know, Frenkie de Jong, of course, played about 70 minutes against Hungary in the first game for the Netherlands during the international break. And the second game, he was not in the squad list whatsoever. He was sent back to Barcelona by Koeman. The Dutch national team released an official statement saying that Frenkie de Jong will be part of the Netherlands squad for the Nations League game against Bosnia and Herzegovina coming up very soon. And Koeman came out in the media saying that the best thing for Frenkie de Jong is to leave training camp at this moment. The decision was made on a medical grounds with the best interest of the player in mind. And then following this, Catalonia Radio came out saying that Barcelona actually already had an agreement with the Dutch Federation that Frenkie de Jong would only play one of the games and then return back. So I guess it was already all planned, but again, 60 minutes, looked good, still getting back to full fitness. He came out for the game, like I mentioned already on the quotes on the channel, saying that I'm fine, I want to come back to full fitness. This is all, I guess, part of the plan, so to speak. And he's coming back fully fit, by the way. He's not coming back injured. Javi Miguel came out saying that Frenkie de Jong is well, and he's set to return to training with Barcelona at some point today. He's not injured and should be fully fit for Celta Vigo, unless, God forbid, he gets any injury in the training upcoming. So again, Frenkie de Jong fully fit, only played one game for the Netherlands as well. Had a nice little week off before, of course, the training session today on Thursday. Let's hope that he can regain his fitness and also his match sharpness as well. Next update is on Gavi now. hold your horses. Gavi is not injured, but Jaime Miguel came out saying that if there are no setbacks, Gavi could be in the starting lineup before the end of the year. There's been some reports saying that Gavi is a bit disappointed with his minutes. Of course, he got like what? 5 minutes against Bayern, 8 against Madrid. He got about 20 minutes against Red Star, got like 5 minutes against Espanyol. Not getting too many minutes. Apparently, Gavi is very disappointed with this, but Flick is the one telling him, look, you're just coming back with an ACL, mate. Calm the frick down. Get your match sharpness up. Get your rhythm going, and then you can start. So, of course, we have a lot of games coming up. We have 8 games coming up before the Christmas break, and Gavi could be set to start one of those games. We don't know when. It could be Celta Vigo. I would assume... What's the game we have after Las Palmas? I think Mallorca away. I think Mallorca away would be a good time to maybe start Gavi for the first time. So we have 3 games. Celta Vigo away, Brest at home, Las Palmas at home. Maybe Las Palmas at home starting him would be in that game wouldn't be too bad either. So I would say the next week Gavi should be fully fit to go to start a game. Again, it looks like the plan is to start him at least once before, I would say, middle of December. So we'll wait and see on that. And finally, we have an injury update on Ansu Fati. Not really an update, but we do have a report coming in from Ramon Cugat, who is, of course, the famous surgeon in Barcelona who performs a lot of the surgeries on these Barcelona players, and he came out speaking on the surgery that he performed on Ansu Fati, following, of course, Ansu Fati being out for a month due to a hamstring issue that he picked up in training. He came out saying this: I performed the surgery on Ansu Fati, but I was not responsible for his rehabilitation. The knee healed completely fine and there were no issues with it. Ansu's father told me that the knee is fine and the current problem is with his hamstring and not with the knee itself. What happened was that the stitches reopened because the player overworked himself training twice a day instead of once a day. This caused swelling in his knee, and the issue is not with the surgery but with the rehabilitation process. I believe the doctor who performed the surgery should coordinate with the person managing the rehabilitation. Ansu can return to his previous level as his knee is in perfect condition. So he's basically saying that Ansu Fati, the reason why Ansu Fati is absolutely effed right now is because he overtrained after the surgery, and his rehabilitation in regards to, post-surgery was way too intense. And that's why the stitches reopened. He had maybe some knee issues, and that's why he's having more muscular issues because the muscles are being way overworked and way overloaded with the knee still trying to fully heal. But he's saying his knee is 100% fine. It's 100% healed, 100% fully fit. It's now all muscle injuries that he's dealing with due to him overworking himself. And that's why he listened to the club. When the club told Ansu to only train once a week, do the surgery when you have the muscle injury as well, just to get that over so you never have any recurrent issues. He didn't listen, which again sucks, and I understand why he didn't listen. Again, you're traumatized by the first surgery that you did have. I get it. But game is game, I guess. So we'll wait and see with Ansu Fati if he can come back fully fit for the new year. But at this rate, I think Barcelona have kind of given up on him a little bit, with us, of course, targeting left wingers Nico Williams, Khvicha, Rafael Leão. So unless he has a huge, massive remontada, we're probably going to see the end of Ansu Fati this upcoming summer. Now, speaking on the injured players, of course, a lot of these injured players got injured on international duty over the past year. And of course, if you're injured on international duty, FIFA do compensate the clubs for the injured players. Now, Mundo Deportivo came out saying that FIFA will pay Barcelona almost 3 million euros for Araujo's injury, which of course he suffered this year in the Copa America. And Barcelona also received 6.3 million euros for Gavi's injury last year for Spain, and 300,000 euros for Pedri's injury during the Euros for Spain. By adding all these 3 amounts, Barcelona gets around 9 million euros for the 3 injuries. So of course, to be honest, not bad. I guess we'll take it. Of course, Araujo's injury with Uruguay, and then of course Pedri and Gavi with Spain. I mean, we'll take it. It's whatever. I'd rather have the players fit than have the money. But again, the money is a little bit of a good side to, of course, pay for the rehabilitation, the surgery, the compensation, all this sort of stuff. Maybe a little bit of extra pocket change as well, you could say. I believe it's 30,000 or 20,000 euros every day they're injured. Something like that. It's a specific number. But 9 million euros for the 3 injuries, I guess we'll take it. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss for an end of this video is in regards to Barcelona's return to the Spotify Camp Nou. Now, a lot of people have been doubting that we're going to return this year, but people think, we're going to probably play the whole season at the Montjuic. The Camp Nou videos and stuff like that doesn't even look close to being ready. But again, the club are planning on returning to the Camp Nou, and the planning has now been fully revealed, and it's very well on track. Raccoon have come out saying that Barcelona have officially informed their members, of course the socios, that they will not return to the Spotify Camp Nou until the end of February. The regular UCL phase will end, of course, on January 29th at the Montjuic against Atlanta. The league matches against Alaves on February 2nd will also be played at the Luis Campos Olympic Stadium. So the club have told the members, who of course were paying for the season pass for the Montjuic and also for the Camp Nou in the second half season, look, we're not going to be at the Camp Nou until February. But February is the plan. According to reports, the club are eyeing February 16th against Rayo Vallecano. the home game to return during that game. Once again, I've been saying this now for how many months? 4 or 5 months. 100% Barcelona are returning to Camp Nou before the knockout phases in the Champions League, and 1,000,000,000% before the second El Clasico of the league this season. We are on track. We are 100% going back to the Camp Nou this season. The question now is when. We're looking at right now middle of February. We could maybe even postpone it until after the March international break. That way you have a good 2-week window to get everything really ready if you want to really absolutely perfect it. If you want to rush it, end of February is looking likely. And also, of course, we have some more positive news about returning to the Camp Nou. And the Barcelona sports counselor, who runs, of course, the Montjuic Stadium, and David Escudo, came out saying the club and the city are aligned on the timelines. Barcelona have told us they plan to return to the Camp Nou in the month of February. So the city is now saying the club have told us they're going to go back in, of course, February. We have a contract until March 31st, so we can play there legally until March. They've told us, look, worst case scenario, you have to be out by May. So again, we're on track. It's going to happen. How many games we'll get? Probably what, like, I think around 10 maybe. I think it's going to be like 8 league games or 9 league games, and then maybe a couple knockout rounds in the Champions League, depending on how far, of course, we do make it. So we're going to get at least, I would say, 10 games at the new Camp Nou, and thank God for it. I absolutely hate the Montjuic, the way it looks on the TV, the way the fans are so far apart from the stadium, from the pitch as well. Get me out of there pronto, and again, we will 100% be returning to the Camp Nou at some point this season. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing, obviously, of course, is your thoughts on the striker position. Would you bring someone in now this summer like a David, or wait until 2026 for a big name like Haaland? Secondly, on the left wingers, who would you want to bring in? Nico Williams, Rafael Leão, or Khvicha Kvaratskhelia? Thirdly, your thoughts on the big renewal news about Pedri and Gavi. And finally, your thoughts on the injured players. Anyone really concerning you? You think these players will come back before the end of the year in regards to Christensen, Ansu Fati? Are you worried about not having Lamine Yamal against Celta Vigo? Leave me all your thoughts down below. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.